Here is the study done on the first day, and we are starting off with breakfast. I had my breakfast at 9 o'clock, and I had one egg, two sausage links, a few papaya pieces, and some pomegranate. These fruits were shared by me and my wife, and uh, the medicine I have in the mornings is metformin here. Uh, I used to have 850 milligrams. Now I'm taking half of it because I generally have heard that metformin is good for us. So when I started this particular day, my sugar was a little high because the previous night I had worked till 3 o'clock and I was very hungry and I had a banana. So that banana effect is only, you see that at 9 o'clock I started, it was 150, and I had my breakfast. And after five, this was before I eat. Then at, when I ate, it was same there. But afterwards, it slowly started going down. Here in this axis, you see every 5 minutes, like starting from the time I eat, which is zero, uh, then 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like that. This is the first 1 hour. So that is how the time goes here. So it was remained almost there without going up. But then after 1 hour, around 10 o'clock, I go to the office and I have a black coffee. So it increased slowly. So here, if you see every 5 minutes, it is almost staying there. And then it start creeping up a little bit. And then around 11 o'clock, it starts coming down, down, down. And around 10, 11:30, if you see here, around 11:30, it has come to 120, which is what is the ideal level it should be on a daytime. And then it stayed at 120, around 120 itself for the rest of the period, as you can see here, slowly unfolding. And uh, at around by around lunchtime, it had almost gone to 110, which is here. So this is how the sugar had behaved in my body. I started off a little high, as I told you on the first day, because of the 3 a.m. banana I ate. But it's not bad. This is pretty much under control. Normally, after eating your breakfast or any meal, sugar does go up to sometimes up to 200. But the thing is how soon it comes down. So that is what is now you're able to see how this food affects the sugar movement in the body. So as we move along, I am going to be modifying, starting with this basic meal, breakfast. Tomorrow I might add a slice of bread to this and see how that behaves. So every day in our in our episodes, one episode will be for a breakfast, lunch, and dinner study, and I will also show you how the previous day with that menu, how the sugar behaved, and how it is behaving today with either the added or taken away menu. Next, we go to the lunch. Okay, so for lunch, I don't have any medication. There is none. I have lunchtime. And I had a salad. This is my standard salad and a bowl of dal. This is nothing but lentil soup. for those who don't know what a dal is. And see, my sugar started around 110, as you saw in that other thing. When I started my lunch, it stayed around 110 for about 20 minutes, as you can see, and then started slowly going up, which it should. That means your body is working correctly. It is slowly going up, and it touched almost the maximum for my body, I have said. 140 is for me a normal range, anywhere from really 100 to 140 is my normal range. Although the American Medical Association says it should be within 120, but that is for people who eat primarily a lot of non-vegetarian. For Indians, going up to 140 is, I've seen, is very normal. Then, so about 1 hour after my lunch, so by 12:30 is our lunch, and by 1:30 it had peaked, and then it slowly started coming down, uh, and it keeps coming down, down, down at around uh, 2 hours after the meal. So this would be 2:30. I was at my lowest point, back to where I started, 110, and then I woke up. I had a nap, and then woke up. And then we usually have our tea at around 4 o'clock. So for tea, we have 1 cup of tea here. This is our regular chai, made with milk and Splenda, and then a bowl of peanuts. Uh, the peanuts is probably about 100, 150 grams of 100 grams probably of peanuts. And as soon as I had that, you see my sugar started going up slowly, slowly here, and slowly, and then it reached a peak of 150 at around 3 hours after 12. That's three. I write around 4:15, and after that it started coming down slowly, slowly, and by the end of 4 hours after my lunch, it had come to 125 or something. So this is tells you how the salad and the dal worked on me. It went up within range and then came down. See how quickly it comes down is what you have to watch. And this has to do with glycemic index. So these foods have low glycemic index. So that's why it goes up and within an hour it comes down. Same thing here with tea and peanuts. I've noticed whenever I have tea with milk, my sugar does go up a little bit but comes down pretty quickly within an hour. So this is what is the lunch for this day with no medication, lunch and tea time. And now let us look at the dinner. Okay. So for dinner at 7 o'clock, uh, I have my regular salad, and then at 9 o'clock, I have a plate of meat. And this one looks like fish, but it's not fish. It's two kind of thinly sliced meat, which is barbecued. I don't use any oil fried stuff. And this is kind of minced meat or pulled meat. So this is my standard dinner time meal I eat. And I don't take any diabetic medication except that metformin you saw that I took at breakfast time. And after the meal, I had one date for sweetening my mouth. And let's look at the sugar. So I started at around 125 at 7 o'clock when I had my salad. So, salad, you see here, this is the beautiful thing. The salad did not affect my sugar at all. It just around that range. After an hour, 8 o'clock, it started going up a little bit and reached my within range of 140. And here is the interesting thing, at 9 o'clock when I had my meat, so if you go here slowly, it stayed there at that level. This is the effect of the salad, probably, at that level. And at 9 o'clock, which is 2 hours after my dinner, 7 o'clock was the dinner, I had this meat, and watch what happens to my sugar. My sugar starts going down. This was a big eye opener for me, in terms of that meat doesn't increase your sugar, especially barbecued meat. It drops it. And by 10 o'clock, I had a date here, this date. And look at what's happening to my sugar after I had the dates also. It keeps actually going down tiny bit. And then 4 hours, which is at 11 p.m., after all this eating the salad, the plate of meat, and the date, and no medication, my sugar reached, I think it's 110. So I went to bed with a sugar of 110. So this gives you an idea about what food affects our sugar. So tomorrow, when I do the study, I will keep this basic meal, and I will try to introduce something new or different so you can learn how that affects it. And how I plot all these points, starting with breakfast. I showed you earlier how I read it. So the reading is done here. Here is my daily graph. I take a picture of it, and then I cut just the. This is for breakfast. So I take this 4 hour thing, and this is what I have plotted here. Okay. So same thing for lunch. See this graph. So this is exactly how I marked there. This is very painstaking work because each of these dots have to be moved according to the graph. I see visually this graph and I move this before I present it to you. So thank you. I will see you in my next episode because I'm also learning editing along the way. It may take a few days for every episode to come, although I take the readings and keep it with me uh, for every day, so that at the end of the week we can compare all the different foods on the 7 days and see how the graph performed. Okay, thank you.